Have you ever stopped to think about how something as simple as bread became one of the most important foods in human history? From the fluffy loaf on your breakfast table to the crispy baguette at a cafe in Paris, bread is everywhere. But behind every slice lies a story that goes all the way back to the dawn of civilization. So, let us explore how bread went from wild grains to the food that built entire societies, right here on History of Things. Thousands of years before modern bakeries or ovens existed, early humans already had what they needed to make bread: grains, water, and fire. Around 30,000 years ago, our hunter-gatherer ancestors began grinding wild grains and roots into pastes and cooking them on hot stones. It wasn't quite bread as we know it, but it was the first step. Then, about 14,000 years ago, in what's now Jordan, archaeologists found something incredible: charred remains of the world's oldest flatbread made from wild barley and wheat. The people who made it didn't even farm yet. They gathered wild grains, ground them, and baked them into simple bread. In fact, many historians believe this love for bread might have inspired humans to start farming. As people began to settle and grow crops in the Fertile Crescent, modern-day Iraq, Syria, and Egypt, bread became central to life. It wasn't just food, it was survival. Early farmers grew wheat and barley, ground them into flour, and baked flat loaves on stones or clay ovens. Bread became a way to store energy for hard times, and with it came the first true communities, villages built around farming and baking. Bread quite literally laid the foundation for civilization. Then came a game-changing discovery: fermentation. Around 4000 BCE, the ancient Egyptians accidentally created leavened bread when natural yeast caused their dough to rise. The result was soft, fluffy bread, and it was delicious. From there, bread became a craft and even a symbol of life itself. Egyptians offered bread to their gods, buried it with pharaohs, and even used it as currency. Workers building the pyramids were paid in loaves of bread and beer, a diet that fueled one of the greatest empires in history. By the Middle Ages, bread had spread across Europe and taken on new meanings. It became a marker of social class. The rich ate soft white loaves made from refined wheat, while peasants ate dense, dark bread made from barley or rye. Bread was so central that it even served as dinnerware. Thick slices of stale bread called trenchers were used as plates, soaked up the meal, and then eaten or fed to the poor. It was both food and a symbol of community. Then came the Industrial Revolution, which transformed bread forever. New mills and machines allowed flour to be produced faster and more finely. By the 1800s, bread could be made on a massive scale, and in 1928, the invention of the bread slicing machine changed everything. For the first time, people could buy pre-sliced, packaged bread, so revolutionary that the phrase, "the best thing since sliced bread," was born. Today, bread exists in hundreds of forms, from naan and tortillas to sourdough and baguettes. Each culture has made it their own, turning simple ingredients, flour, water, salt, and yeast, into something uniquely meaningful. Bread is more than food, it's a story of innovation, culture, and connection. It represents humanity's journey from survival to civilization. So, the next time you take a bite of bread, remember, you're not just eating a meal, you're tasting history. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. And join us next time for more fascinating journeys through the history of things.